What's happening? What's happening? Great morning, great morning. It is Brian Arahan here, real estate coach, MAPS coach, and just all around brokerage, real estate enthusiast. I wanted to give you just a strategy around making sure that we're getting more out of less. I see a lot, I talk to a lot of agents just across the way. And just in my history of being able to consult and be involved and whatnot, I find a lot that as we come into this business and we evolve in this business, we start to compare ourselves to other agents and say, hey, if that agent's doing all this business with paying a bunch of money on Zillow, all right, let's do that. Or if that agent's killing it doing open houses, let's do that. Or if that agent is out there door knocking, let's do that. And then we start to compare ourselves and start thinking, hey, maybe I should do that, maybe I should do that, maybe I should do that, maybe I should do that. And the challenge with that is that we find that we never really master anything because we're doing all these different things that don't, number one, don't match with our strengths, don't give us an opportunity to show up confidently, and we never really master it. Because I'm sure you would agree that the way that you would talk to an expired listing is different from how you would talk to a pre-foreclosure, and is also different from how you would talk to an open house, is also different from how you door knock. So, which all come with different follow-up procedures. So when we start looking at how many different sources of business there are, they can actually be pretty confusing. So the number one thing that I would do is, number one, what are my strengths? What do I do well? What can I do better? And really just dial in. What strengths did I bring in from my other career? What strengths do I bring in from just things that I've just hit out the park personally? Maybe I'm a people person. Maybe I'm an educator. Maybe I'm a marketer. Maybe I'm an analytical who maybe works well with investors or commercial, whatever it might be. The thing about our business is that there's just so many different things that we can do in the business that can show up as confusing. And if we're not careful, we'll just be the work to be the jack of all trades and be the master of none. And so when you look at all the different lead sources there's so many. So number one, I would say, hey, make a list them out, and then prioritize them based by what you feel you can master, what you do well, what you can hit out of the park based off of your strengths. So number one, list what's available to you. Number two, prioritize them based off of, now for me, I would look at and say, okay, what lead source can I handle that works with my personality style? What lead source can I handle that is available and readily giving me enough business opportunities? So for instance, years ago when I was looking at, because I was doing open houses, I was doing expireds, I was doing for sale by owners, I was doing all these different things, and I wasn't mastering any of them. So until I got my coach, and my coach said, hey, Brian, pick your main lead source. Obviously, sphere of influence is always going to be one of them, right? Your database, SOI, that's a given. So now, what are the other two lead sources? So for me, I said, you know what? For me, it was narrowed down between for sale by owners and expires. What I found was that for sale by owners, there wasn't as many of them out there for me to give me a reliable amount of appointment opportunities per week, per month, per year, right? So it drives right back down to my goal. What is my goal? What is my intention? That same thing of you picking a farm. If you pick a farm and you don't know what the turnover ratio is, and you're saying, you're putting on your energy, you're door knocking, you're mailing, your open houses, and that farm only turns over 2 to 3%, you're wasting your time, right? You want to be at a higher turnover ratio. So knowing what that is, 7 to 8+% is an ideal turnover ratio for your efforts. All right. So know what you're good at, what is going to give you enough appointment opportunities, and then give yourself an opportunity to drive that opportunity home. All right. Number three, and then create focus. So just narrow down to your top three. Now, no more than 5. And yet our top people are getting 90% of their business from just their top 5 sources. Now, for me, I would advise that you narrow it down to 3, right? What are your top 3 sources? So number one, obviously, is your sphere of influence and SOI. Number 2, it's going to be open houses nationally. What we see is it's open houses is number 2, and number 3 is online leads. Now, again, I go back to your personality style. What do you prefer? What do you do well? What do you have strength and confidence in? It may not be open houses. It might be events. It may not be online leads. It may be networking, business to business. So, substitute what those main sources of business are with what you're good at, and make sure you narrow it down to 3, because each one of those sources are going to require a specific follow-up procedure, a specific script or conversational model, a specific approach for how you service them as well, right? You wouldn't talk to an expired the same way you would talk to a divorce situation. Same thing with a foreclosure, et cetera. So again, just giving you a quick tip. We know that if you even look at this chart here, the top 3 lead sources are 72% of the business, right? So if you look at number 1, 38%, number 2, 20%, and number 3, 14%, that's 72% of your business opportunities just off of focusing on 3 lead sources. That's where, again, this chart comes from our top people, and 80% of our top people get 90% of their business from just 5 sources. You can get 72% just from 3 sources, right? You can get 58% just from 2. So what are your top 2? What are your top 3 lead sources that you can focus on, such that by doing it will make everything else easier or unnecessary? So just as a quick thought there, just giving you a quick tip, nothing too long, not a whole lot. Again, we're coaching every day. We're in the office every day. We're bringing content every single day. We're bringing content on at a high level. Our 6-figure agent program is real. It's working. We just are looking for people who want to work it. All right. With that being said, be well, be great. Have a great rest of your day. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at Brian E Real Estate. We'll talk soon. Otherwise, just give me a call if you got my number.